Get ready, because what I will say might shock you. You do not have a soul. Many times people will use the sentence, "Oh, I'm only human," in whichever emotion they say it will mean a different thing. But in whichever way one wish to express it, it is nonsense, because you are not a human and you do not have a soul. You are a soul who is within the human mechanism. And when we see things in reverse, we are in deep Maya. We are in illusion. When one believes that he or she is the human body, then this being has no choice but to be afraid. Afraid to lose your beauty, afraid to lose your possession, afraid to lose your body, afraid to lose your life. And with every single thing that we begin to identify, our subconscious mind is now also afraid of losing this thing, which can be your job, your car, a skill that you have, anything. And this fear of losing is the very root of attachment. And in order for the energy to rise from Muladhara all the way up to Sahasra, one must be free of all attachment. And to be free of attachment do not mean that one has no love for somebody. Does not mean that one has no possession. But to be detached from everything is in fact the only way to experience anything to the fullest, to love something for the fullest. Because when one is attached, then he will always come to the conclusion and presume that this thing or this person will still be here tomorrow, after tomorrow. And they begin to live as an immortal being, forgetting that whatever they do or say might be the last thing. But when one is fully detached of all, then this being is aware that he or she is not the body. Therefore, death is not an issue. Death is not something that scares you, but you are aware fully every day that this moment might be your last. And when you do not even know if you will wake up tomorrow, do you have time to shout a bad word to somebody? Do you have time to do a bad action? But if today is your last day, then you will be sweet. You will enjoy every second available, whatever it is. So in order to allow the energy from Muladhara to rise all the way up to Sahasrara, detachment is a must. And now, why are you speaking about detachment? We were speaking about you do not have a soul, you are the soul. And the reason is that the only possibility for humanity to forget throughout history their true identity as a soul, not a body, has only happened because we got too identified with this bag of meat. We got too identified with every single of our thoughts, too identified with our body, our nationality, our gender, and all of this irrelevant nonsense. And as we will begin to teach everybody, including children at a young age, that the true identity is never the body, but the witness within the system. The soul, you might call it, or just the self, whatever one call it, does not matter, because no label will be right to describe the self. We can try to speak about the self, but it is never right. We can only speak around the self, but to go fully, precisely saying the right thing is impossible with the current language that exists. So let this be your mantra, that I do not have a soul, I am the soul. And as you will begin to live no more as an immortal being who presume that tomorrow will happen, you will suddenly begin to experience all the same activities of usual, but in a tremendously different way, in a new state of being that appreciates every single second. For the knowledge of the self to spread around the globe, I welcome you to write down into the comment what you will do differently now that you know that you are a soul, and that any second, any moment can be the last.